The end of an era. The Walking Dead is finally over after 11 seasons, 12 years, over 170 episodes combined. This is the very last episode of The Walking Dead, 1124. This one is titled Rest in Peace. If you're not aware, that was the title of the very last volume of the book The Walking Dead. I'm here. My name is Ricky Grimes, my boy Joe, the psychologist. What's up, Joe? How are you holding up, brother?
I am good. I'm good, dude. I mean, we were complaining about how the ending was gonna go.
Yes,
It was still good. It
yes,
delivered everything we were hoping for.
yes.
Oh man, so here we are. This is it. This is the
That's it.
last episode.
This is it, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. This is going to be, as far as recaps and reviews go, your very last episode of the Walking Dead podcast, Horror Fiend TV. Give us that sub too. We will highly, really appreciate that. Joe, let me ask you, my friend. Let's get right into it. Rest in peace. What was your favorite character doing on the very last episode of TWD?
Well, I've been saying it this whole last couple weeks. Negan. Again, Negan's character finally reached the moment that's been building up, to be honest with you. He had the moment where he apologized to Maggie, and fucking dude, he delivered that. I felt when he apologized, the Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
Yeah,
he acted that scene off.
top tier.
He Yeah, top shit. Like that was awesome. I love that it kept to the comic book because even though I didn't get there, I actually do know this is a conversation they have.
Yeah,
And she explains why she can't actually forgive him, but at the same time, she no longer wants to live with this.
yeah.
So that means leading into Dead City, that at least they're going in with a better place with each other, as opposed to I just didn't want Dead City to fall upon them two hating each other.
Yes, dude,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
100,
Because they would have
100.
dragged it out. Like let's freshen it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the scene between both of them, his apology, her explaining to him, and honestly, I haven't my brain hadn't flashed back to Glenn's death up until she
I
was
know.
describing that. Honestly, especially when he said how you were, what did she say, like tormenting me or you were laughing at me.
Laughing at, yeah, her last
At,
moments of Glenn after his last words to her, she can't really fixate on that because Negan just laughing throughout the
yes.
entire.
So
That's
I, I
powerful.
I I loved it. I did not get there in the comics, so I'm looking forward to reading.
Bro, I gotta send you these volumes or something, bro.
No,
I
dude,
thought
like
you
I
got
said,
that far, B.
Christmas is coming up. I no, I've got
What you got? What
one,
you got? What you
two,
got?
3, 4, 5, 6. I think 7 volumes because I'm doing them. I'm collecting them by volumes.
That's how I
So
originally started,
I'm
man.
on volume 7 right now. Um,
Oh, you
the other
baby.
part I liked was when we get to the end and they're all celebrating, having their food, and then Daryl walks to the window, and I mean it's I mean guys don't generally need to have we don't need to have the heart to heart like apologizing. Like
Perfect. When
it,
I
it
saw
was
that, I was like,
oh
say no more.
it was Daryl who did it first. Because like Negan looked up and it was almost as in that was the last person in the group
Yeah,
to kind of say you're cool. I
you're
mean, he
cool.
was invited in
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
still didn't participate because
Yeah.
even then he didn't feel he had his conversations, but that was their moment, and him probably sitting there may take away from them celebrating where they got. So Negan, that's what the psychologist is looking is that Negan chose not to sit in on that dinner
Yes.
because him sitting there may have brought back bad memories, and he wanted this to be a joyful event instead of him being the dark cloud over their rainbow.
1000% I agree with you, brother. When Negan talked to Maggie, just you could just hear it in his voice. Just his facial expressions, like his mannerisms, like, and I love the fact that Maggie did not forgive him. I love that. But
She
she
didn't
told him
flinch. She
exact
didn't flinch during the
no.
conversation.
She said, "You know what? We're cool, but I can't forgive you." And her reasoning behind it, every time she sees Negan, she sees Glenn, and she does not want to be reminded of the final moments how she remembers Glenn.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff,
Yes.
beautiful writing, beautiful acting by Lauren Cohan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Both of them killed it in that scene.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with you on that because I love the fact that it took Negan since what season 6, the last episode of season 6, through season 7, 8, 9. It took him all this time to finally apologize for killing Glenn. That
Because it all
was
made sense. Because he
powerful.
even said it too.
When he was on his
I
knees.
now understand. The words came out, which is what I've been trying to say,
That's
is
it.
that when his words came out, I go, it's what I've been saying. And I'm glad the writers put that in there,
Yeah, that's
because it's what I've
perfect.
been saying is that it's all these episodes have been leading for him to actually know he was wrong. The apology, the apology didn't come from, hey, I'm gonna apologize, just we can move forward.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's because he realized, and he's been realizing, he realized it when everybody stood up for him, and he mentioned that. He realized what they all fought for, and he got where they came from. And then he realized what he took from them.
That is the important key because now he's got Annie and he's got his own kid on the way. So he understands exactly what it felt like for Maggie to lose her family, bro. That's just
He's gonna be Uncle Negan to Herschel. That's gonna be the great part. Is that to hear Herschel at some point go Uncle Negan? That's gonna be pretty funny on Dead
yeah.
City. So
And the best part about it is Annie survived, the baby survived. We don't know where they left off on that. Hopefully, they do touch upon that in Dead City, but I'm glad they kept it out of here because they didn't. We didn't need it. We wanted
yeah,
closure between Maggie and Negan, and I love the fact you mentioned it. The closure between Daryl and Negan, just a nod. When I
that's
saw
it.
that, I said to myself, I talked to my own TV. I'm like, that's it. Nothing else needs to be said. That's perfect. That's in line with Daryl's character and Negan, both of them.
Yep.
The
They don't
mutual
need
respect.
words, and that was the and that's what I'm saying.
Good shout. Yeah.
With guys, it's I don't mean to sound sexist, but
Yeah.
guys generally, when if there's tension, when we give each other that nod, it's that everything's okay.
Got you, brother.
Yeah.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Before we get to the big moment, let's talk about the return of my favorite character, Rick Grimes. Now, I said to myself, I was not expecting Rick to come back during the actual storyline. I knew that already. And I thought they would bring him back as a post-credit scene to set up him and Michonne's series. But the way they integrated Michonne and Rick into this story here that ties back to Judith and RJ, and it still left you with, okay, I want to see their series now, but it's still tied into the story at hand. Because now we know exactly how Michonne found the bag, the phone with all the, with the sketch of Judith and all that stuff on it, Rick's boots. We know exactly what was going on now. And if you didn't watch World Beyond, but the outfit Rick was wearing was the exact same outfit and weapon, that pole with the metal, like, what is that? That's
Uh,
like the little claw hand, that little machine that takes.
it's well, it's more like for fishing. That's a
Yeah,
fishing. Yeah.
you pick up garbage and shit like that. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that same weapon was used by a character in World Beyond that worked in the Civic Republic, pretty much.
I
So
have to
we
watch
know,
World Beyond.
yeah.
I didn't
So
do World
now
Beyond.
I know you didn't watch it, but I know what Rick was doing now because that's the same exact job that was displayed in World Beyond.
So they tied it.
Yes. Now
Tied it. All right.
the voice in the helicopter that was talking to Rick. This is not confirmed, but I saw a couple of my Twitter friends, my mutuals, bringing this up to my attention. If you listen closely to that voice, now if you didn't watch World Beyond, I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, but
It's okay.
this is for clarity. There's a character in that show called it's Lieutenant Beale. They never showed him, but he's the head honcho essentially. Jadis was in World Beyond. She was she worked under him. She was like the leader. She was essentially the villain,
From the
more or less.
CRM.
Yes.
CRM. Yeah.
So when the voice over the radio said, just like she told you, Rick, you can't escape the living. If you listen to that voice, I'm not confirming this,
It's
but
the
it
same voice from
sounds
the.
but it sounds like Giancarlo Esposito.
Ah.
Now, if he's Lieutenant Beale, I could only imagine scenes between him and Andrew Lincoln as Rick. Oh my god! Again, it's not confirmed. It's a theory, but that just really skyrocketed my interest for that show because I love Giancarlo.
I
And
do
if he
too.
if he's Lieutenant Beale, because again that character was never shown, but they kept mentioning him for a reason. But
So maybe leading up to
so as far as Rick Grimes, Michonne is concerned, I do like how they tied him into the story because of course it shows you Michonne's outfit, by the way. Wow, she looked great. Whatever that was fucking cool, man. I want to see more of that. Um, so yeah, I like the way they tied it. At least Rick was in the main story. I knew he wasn't gonna reunite with Judith and then because that's gonna defeat the purpose of his own show.
the spinoff and all that.
So I get why they didn't do the actual ending for the comic book. You couldn't do it with the spin-offs and stuff coming out. But for what they did, it was great. I'm glad Rick Grimes did show up. And it's great that Andrew Lincoln had his season 5 look with the beard and
Still the same thing.
no, because remember in
Like
season 9
even
when he left, he had
well, no.
he had the buzz cut. He looked mad
Oh,
clean. Remember that?
did he? Because I'm like, God, he
Yeah,
still
go
looks as
back.
dirty. He still looks as dirty as
No,
the last time I
no.
saw him.
The
Right.
last season 9 that he appeared in, he looked cleanish, buzz cut, everything. But now he looks
Oh.
like old. He looks like Murder Jacket Rick Grimes now. I'm like, oh. At first, because of that, I'm like, oh, this archive footage. No, God, please don't tell me they're doing archive footage. But then no. When I was like, oh wow, okay, so he grew his hair back out. That's pretty cool. But Rick Grimes, my boy, he's back. Well, he came back. But yeah, let's get to it. Now, the big moment in this episode. I am a big Rosita Espinosa fan. I've always was a fan because in the comic books, she was the only Hispanic in the entire series for the most part. That relevant, but she was still a really small character in the comics compared to the show. But that's why I gravitated towards it as a Hispanic, seeing another fellow Hispanic and something it's awesome. So I love Rosita, and not just that, but she's a strong character. She can do everything. She's a soldier, a friend. She would the way she fought for the kids. I mean, she was a fighter to the very end, and I knew it when they spared her from the fight scene and they treated her with Tara. I knew she would get Andrea's death because somebody had to get that death. It's a big death.
It is.
It's a big death. So I knew, and they kept hinting at it constant. They gave it a scar like and well, not the same scar, but a scar like Andrea. This is way back in like season 8 or 7, I think it was. When a rat gave it a scar. But yeah, bro, man, I the anxiety I felt from the moment she fell and she fought back. I knew she was bit, mind you, because if she wasn't, that would be really ridiculous how she would
Yes,
survive
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
So I was like, okay, I ain't buying it. She's bit. I know she's bit. And bro, but when she got up and started whacking the walker,
I knew
yes,
I
she's
knew
going out like a champ. Well, oh, they reminded me. There's a panel in the comic book that did not do this in this. They did something similar. Tyrese, way back in the early Walker Dead books, you read this. We thought he was dead, locked in a room with a bunch of walkers. Rick and Glenn went to go back just to retrieve his body. But when they opened the door, all the walkers are
they're
dead.
dead. It's
It's just
him.
Tyrese that are covered in blood saying what took so long. So this reminded me of that in a sense where we thought she was gone and she just fought back. Dope stuff and very emotional, man. Like I think I started losing it once Judith realized Rosita was dying.
Mhm.
Judith was so smart. She caught that.
She caught it, and she just had
Oh
a good memory on that.
yeah. No. So everything. I mean, don't, bro. I just can't talk right now because this character. I love this character, and the fact that the big death for the final episode was her, bro. That's an honor right there. And I'm hearing that Kristen Serratos volunteered, and she's smart to be killed off in the final episode because who if I'm an actor and you're on the last episode, I want to die. I want a great epic death.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, why not? You're not gonna, what's gonna happen? She can't come back for a spinoff. So it's awesome, bro. How about you, brother? How you feel about Rosita's
Me,
death? How you feel
well,
about
first of all, I turn my head around so I can tip my hat to the actress. Like honestly, um,
yeah, you gotta take it up
dude,
from me, bro.
and
I'm really,
I'm not even gonna pour my. I'm gonna take a sip. I don't want to pour. I knew from the beginning with Luke, and I couldn't remember the other.
That was sad too.
All right, so I kind of
Oh,
started getting a
Jules,
little
Jules, yeah, yeah.
Jules. I got a little choked up then,
Me too.
and then we got to Rosie when she fell off. I'm like, there's no possible way
Yes.
that she. And if they did do that, then it wouldn't have fit into the story
No, I would
at all.
no.
Because then you would have made her a fucking superhero in
Yeah.
some kind of caliber. But um, bro, when I got to that and I texted you and said, all right, I'm starting right now. I'm putting my phone down. And then we got to that part. I'm like, oh God, I hope Rick is okay. I grabbed my phone and I texted the words, are you okay? Damn it. I said I'm gonna put my phone down. Um, I
I
haven't
was not okay, to be honest.
I haven't ugly cried the way that I ugly cried for this since The Color Purple. Like honestly, like I was sitting there like
The color
like
purple, that's so random.
well because okay, so Color Purple
No,
is
I
like
I no, I know, but I'm saying like
but the way emotionally it draws you in,
yes. Yep. 100.
that movie where I cried ugly, it took 2 hours for that movie to get there. This took 50 minutes or something like that to get there. I was literally like, I I I was so emotional during that scene. I was losing it. I texted you and told you, I gotta go pull myself together right now.
Yeah.
Like, I it was. I told you that we needed to have a big death.
I could have stayed still, bro.
I said we needed the big death, and they delivered. It was I hated that it was your favorite character. To be honest with you, like I felt for you, but at the same time, she did such an amazing job. We didn't need to see her turn and get killed, which was another part that I really
Yeah.
liked.
They
Um,
they yeah, they in the comics well, no, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm
but
sorry.
you know what I mean. But we didn't need to see that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking Eugene was
Oh my
making me
god.
like
Let me tell
uncontrollably
you something, bro.
sob.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that conversation between Eugene and Rosita was beautiful. When Eugene was like, I'm paraphrasing, but you made me the man I am today, essentially. And she's like, I'm glad you were the one that stood in the end. And whatever she said, but I'm paraphrasing again. The fact that out of Abraham and Rosita, the two soldiers essentially,
They were left.
Eugene is the one
And
that
I
I love it,
know.
and I love it. Eugene got with Max. They got a kid that they named her
Oh, I
Rosie.
know. It was so cute.
He has
I loved it.
Eugene got the happy ending, and oh, bro, I know Eugene had ups and downs with him, but man,
I've
I'm
been
happy
torn
for
on
him.
Eugene through all these years,
I'm
but
happy for him though because deep down he was a good guy. He was a good
he
guy.
was. He was just a big liar at first. That's where he
He was
fucked up.
scared. I don't know because he was a
He made
scared.
up a huge
He
lie.
did, but
He was the one that was gonna save the world.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
because he was a scared, selfish
I know,
motherfucker,
I
like
know,
a
I
lot of
know,
them were to start,
I
and
know.
yeah, but bro, yeah. So I'll have more to say on that later. But yeah,
But
I love the acting when she said goodbye to Eugene, and then oh my god, Gabriel read the last rites. Oh my god, and she
yeah.
said goodbye to Coco. Oh my god, bro, and
Great, great,
even
great scene. Great,
even
great.
in death, she was beautiful. I mean, oh my god.
Well, she was given that great finale death, the one
Yeah.
that we're not gonna forget.
Yeah, awesome. Joe, the psychologist. Let's wrap this recap up real quick. This is our first reaction video, mind you. This is the next day. I still
Yeah.
haven't processed everything, so I'll have more to say in the future sometime somewhere down the road when I go back and revisit it and really soak everything in. But Joe, closing thoughts. The floor is yours.
For first part, I was happy it was more than 44 minutes. They lied to us on IMDb.
You
when
lied,
I
yeah. Thank
when
you.
I
So
when
there
I
was
hit
a
play and it was an hour, it was over an hour. I'm
I
like,
didn't check.
yes,
Well, we
yes,
had a
yes,
one
yes.
of our one we someone commented on our video. Someone left a comment confirming that it was going to be 90 minutes with commercials. So,
Oh,
or no,
all right.
60 minutes, I believe you said, with
I
commercials.
apologize. Whoever commented, thank you for the comment.
Thanks, brother.
I didn't see it
Yes.
yet, but yeah, we looked at it last week and it said 44, so I was happy it was longer. I did say this already. It was totally a pilot episode for the spinoffs. It did give you a good closing. I loved the closing of it. It delivered the gravitas that we needed with Rosita's death because you said it tied into some of the key moments of the comic book, which it should have had. If they went if on the ending they went off from the comic books, I wouldn't have been happy. I didn't reach there yet. I know
Oh,
you
they
read them
did.
all.
Oh no, they did.
That's what I'm saying. So
They went way off the path. They did their
that's what,
own ending. Yeah.
so at least, like you said, you brought up Andrea's death. Like it like in the end, it gave you the death you needed in the finale because everybody was we got the happy moment, but it was the happy moment clouded over because they all didn't realize that Rosita was going to die. So they gave it to
You're
us
right.
backward.
You're right. You're right.
So that's what I liked
For
about
sure. For sure. Yeah, me too. Yeah, you're right because I loved it when she said, "No, don't tell no one yet," because she wants everyone to be happy in this moment, and we'll worry about that later on. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I loved it. I love the episode. This is your Walking Dead recap. Now, this is not the end. We have one more bonus episode for the Walking Dead podcast. This episode is going to cover now this episode a little bit more in depth, as well as the series as a whole. This one is going to be, this is the last one. This is going to be the big one. This is our initial thoughts right now. Real quick, what we thought, but we're going to get more in depth in our second bonus video. Look out for that. Joe, what else we got cooking?
That's it. Oh, well,
I like
make
that.
sure-
Put it off guard. Eh?
make sure you watch that bonus episode because we have an announcement coming right at the end.
Big announcement.
Watch for that announcement because we're not done with the undead.
My boy Joe the psychologist. Thank you, Joe. Like I said, one more to go. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ricky Grimes, Joe the psychologist. Stay scared. Watch more Walking Dead. Please don't forget about the show. One thing I will say is this show ended better than Game of Thrones. I'm Ricky Grimes, Joe the psychologist. Stay scared. Rest in peace.
Don't get bit.
Destiny's devils be savages. Slim than a chance with the averages. Sitting on the low like you added slick. Darkness make you disappear like a magic trick. Put up to the table, come down and sit. These devils try to tell you the crown will fit. Now you surrounded by counterfeits, trying to chop you up into 1,000 bits.